Hello, hello, everyone. We are back. We are back. And we are getting ready for an exciting new segment. So make sure you share this new live. I'm telling you all, we are doing a social media takeover. And so I'm super excited about this panel that we are about to have where we can discuss, where we can bring practical with the spiritual with this next panel with these amazing women, my amazing sisters that I have come to know and love and just appreciate what God is allowing them to do in the earth as Christians and as entrepreneurs. And that's what I love because I believe that this is a season and an hour that God is calling his people to take those mountains of influence. So what are the mountains of influence? We have ministry, religion, we have education, we have government, we have media and entertainment. We have so many other ones. There's seven total. There are seven total different areas where we can literally take territory for the glory and honor of God. Because wherever there is room for territory to be taken as a powerhouse leader in the earth, we can take it, right? So it's not about just showing up in the ministry realm, but even in the marketplace. How is God calling us? Glory to God, so that we can literally bring the kingdom of heaven to earth. So share the live, share the broadcast on today, share the live, share the broadcast. Every time we shift into a new live, make sure you share it. We are doing a social media takeover. So I am super excited for the lovely and amazing women who are joining me on today for this Christians and Entrepreneurship panel. Make sure if you have any questions as the conversation flows and goes, that you pose your question. But I have some questions prepared because I am the moderator of this panel and I'm super excited about it. But without any further ado, let me go ahead and bring up these two amazing women. And the first one I'm going to bring up is Apostle Bianca Lowry. Hello, my amazing sister. You look beautiful.
My mic was muted. I'm so sorry.
It is okay. Welcome, welcome. I love you so much. I'm
I love
so glad
you.
you are here. And then next up, we have Miss Raliat Abby. And so we don't see you. We're waiting to see your beautiful face. I'm sure she will be on screen with us very, very soon. But before we go into any questions, what I would love for you ladies to do is just take a moment to introduce yourselves. So, Apostle Bianca, I would love to start with you. Just tell them who you are, how you show up in the world in both marketplace and ministry.
All right. So it's good to see everybody. Great to be here with Powerhouse Leaders. Great to be here with you, Prophetess. So I'm Bianca Lowry. I'm from Philadelphia. And so I am definitely an entrepreneur full time. I just started something crazy. I think all of us kind of just have these ideas from God. And he gives us creative ideas, and then we just kind of, possess the faith to now bring them to life. So I don't claim to be this amazing, like perfect, somebody that knows everything. But what I do know, I know, and it's been given to me by God. And so he gave me this crazy idea to like start mentoring women. And so that's what I've been doing for a year now. And I've been privileged to mentor 100 women, over 100 women actually. And my program is called Exodus Mentoring and Training Program. And what the Lord was showing me was that he was really taking me on a journey throughout my life and allowing me to see mistakes, allowing me to see the transitions that I had to go through, the mental turmoil that it brought, and also just some of the biblical principles that I was able to apply to my life when I was transitioning. And so Exodus Mentoring and Training is just what it sounds like. It's really based on the journey of Moses, right? And based on the children of Israel, how they were brought from a place of slavery and now into a place of freedom. And so the women that enter my mentorship course, they are given tools and equipped to deal with life's transition, whatever that looks like. And so these tools can be used to they're applicable for whatever transition you might find yourself in. And so the program is for women. We like to start them at about like 18, right? My oldest mentee has been like 70, I believe she was. So it's really no age limit, really. As long as you're a woman that's a believer, you can join the program. And so, like I said, I've mentored over 100 women through Exodus Mentoring and Training. I'm also, of course, the founder of Bianca Lowry International. And that is really the umbrella in which I do everything that I do in. So, of course, I'm a content creator as well. So I do a lot of stuff on Instagram. I do a lot of things on Clubhouse. A whole bunch of things on Clubhouse. And I'm actually in school right now studying to be a certified genealogist with my current journey that I've been on. And so that's pretty much what I do. I'm a certified life coach, of course, and certified trauma practitioner. So I actually do sessions with people, trauma care sessions. I do business evaluations as well as personal development. And so all of those things can be found on my website, BiancaLowryInternational.com. Who I am is who God created me to be, and that flows out of everything that I do. And so that's who I am. Hopefully that wasn't too long.
I love it. It is just fine. We have this whole segment. I love it. I love it. I love it. Amazing. Over 100 women that you have mentored. That is absolutely amazing. And so, Apostle Bianca, I'm so glad that you are here. I know you're going to be able to add some great insight to the conversation today. And so, next up, we have Miss Ralia Abby. And so, I'm excited that she is a part of today as well.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Doing very well. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Apostle Bianca. It was good to connect with you here. So for me, I'm an entrepreneur, a business coach, and a beautypreneur because I recently launched a beauty business brand. So that is running. But prior to that, I had worked in a paid employment for about 10 years. And I just launched into full entrepreneurship this year, 2021. Yeah, thanks to God. And I'm an author as well. I also mentor young women in their business endeavors and life. So yeah, that's what I do in a nutshell.
Amen. I love it. I love it. So we have coaches among us. So that's why, you want to pose questions as they come for sure. And so, ladies, my first question for you all on today is, what is one thing that you wish you knew before launching into entrepreneurship that it would have been nice for someone to share with you before you took the big step or the big leap? And so I'll start with Ralia and then I'll shift over to Apostle Bianca to answer that question.
Okay, so one of the things I wish I knew before I launched into entrepreneurship, I always got a lot of feedbacks about entrepreneurship, which were actually more on the negative side. So it was always like, oh, you have to hustle and grind and suffer and get broke sometimes and all of that. So that was the mindset I had. So it was something difficult for me to take a leap into. I was considering all of that, like, oh, how is it going to be? So does that mean I'm going to be broke most of the time? I was just going around it, but I discovered that it's more like a limiting belief. And it took the Spirit of God to teach me what that is, because for him, entrepreneurship is actually God giving you wisdom to make wealth. So if I had the positive word of what it meant to be an entrepreneur, then I would have entered it, with all of myself excited, in a very excited way. But I got into it like, okay, I'm not sure how is it going to be and all of that. But I'm happy to know that it's an opportunity for you to create wealth. So there's no limit to the wealth you can create as an entrepreneur. You just have to learn how to go about it. So that's for me.
I love that. I love that. Apostle Bianca.
So mine's is probably a little bit different, but I think I wish somebody would have told me that it wasn't going to be like the status quo. It wasn't going to be like what I had already seen or what I had already heard about entrepreneurship. And so in that, I've experienced tremendous success with entrepreneurship. And I did not know how to immediately handle that success that came with me. And so I wish Riley, I talked about basically the things that, that can be like negative, like people were telling her negative things about entrepreneurship, right? And so I just wish somebody would have explained to me, sis, you can blow up overnight, like literally. Like, and not in terms of like going viral, or not in terms of like, a bunch of people knowing your name, but your bank account can go from $0 to $10,000. Like, that could totally happen for you. And then you're going to have to manage that money, and you're going to have to do this and do that, and all of those things. So I really wish that was probably explained to me. But if anybody knows me, that I really just flow with God. And so my life is really just like a bam, bam type of thing. Like, he drops it on me, and I just pretty much do it. And the outcome, whether I make a mistake in the outcome or whether he has to like train me himself and tell me, he always provides. And so he always sends me the people that I need, the stuff that I need, and all of those things. And so I'm okay. Like, if people told me great things about entrepreneurship, people told me horrible things, horror stories about entrepreneurship. But for the most part, I think I kind of always knew that I was going to be an entrepreneur. I just didn't think it would be full time, because I really loved what I did, because I worked in behavioral health for over 10 years. So that's what I did. And so I liked being in those spaces, and I had just transferred over to special education. So it wasn't like, of course, working a 9 to 5, but you definitely have to work. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you got to work. You got to get up and you got to work. And even on the days that you do not feel like showing up, you got to show that face. So, yes, I guess I wish somebody would have told me the positives of entrepreneurship, the things that can literally happen to you overnight, or that are possibilities. But I think when you're starting something that is probably new to you, and maybe new to the people that you're around, right? And even the people that you may be exposed to, sometimes they really don't have the language that is needed to kind of prepare you for things. So you just kind of wind up breaking out into them, and you wind up pioneering. So that's literally been like some of the paths that I've traveled down, where people have given me great advice and have mentored me, trained me, helped me, all of those things. But the stuff that they said to me, it was very valuable for the type of person that I am, and I took that and I was able to learn from it. But for some of the journeys that I've been on, I was like, man, like, this ain't turned out like, your life experience was not mine at all. Like, it's totally different. And I just had to walk this thing out, with the help of God, and with those people that have been voices in my life, and with those people that have been supportive in my life. You know what I mean? And so it's been like, thank you for the advice. I appreciate it. But I don't think neither one of us could have knew that I would be right here. So, your advice has benefited my life. Classes, trainings, conferences, all of those things have benefited my life. But I didn't know that I would be here. I didn't know that I would experience it on this level. So when we're walking throughout life, I think it's important that we know, like, we have journeys, and some of our journeys may be similar. Some of our journeys may be, different, but it's great to get that wisdom from people and hear people out when they're talking to you and sharing advice with you. So I appreciate all of the advice that I got, whether it was, sis, you got to tighten up, or whether it was, when you do this, you need to make sure you do this, right? So I appreciate all of the advice and everything that I got, but I'm telling you, my life has somewhat been an anomaly. And so I break into something real quick and it'd be like, oh, I didn't know it was going to go like that. Okay. Let's ride this thing out. So yeah, so I guess that's what I wish somebody would have told me, that, it could be like, it could really like blow up in your face in a positive way. Like, like, overnight, you didn't just like hopped into another tax bracket. So yeah, that's my contribution.
Wow, I love that. I love that. Both of you ladies said things that were just so incredibly important. I love the limiting beliefs, right? Understanding that entrepreneurship is an opportunity to walk into the wisdom of wealth. I really love that. And then Apostle Bianca, understand that you can have great success quickly, right? You don't have to have the journey of some. You could have the journey of the other some. Some people work to get there, and some people, there could be exponential growth in a matter of months or in a matter of a day. You just never know, because in the moment God could do something, because it's something that he downloaded to you, and you release it and people jump on it. And one thing that I feel like it would have been nice to know as a person entering into entrepreneurship is that it's really a call for you to go deeper with God. Because you, as a Christian entrepreneur, you are looking for strategy from him, because you took this leap and this jump at his word. This is not something people just ordinarily do if you weren't raised in this type of environment. I was not raised in an entrepreneurial environment. My parents are not entrepreneurs. The path for me was education, get the job, retire the job, right? But God called me into something I literally had not planned for, I had not dreamed of, I had not thought of. Okay. And so that's another thing that's so important, is understand that a call to entrepreneurship as a Christian is a call to a deeper relationship with God, because you are depending on him on another level than you ever have before, because you're not working and, oh, I know a check's coming. Like in 2 weeks, it's mine. It's not the same type of mindset. And so you have to allow God to shift your mindset as well. So ladies, that was amazing. So my next question is, what were the greatest challenges, or what was a great challenge that you had to overcome on this journey walking out entrepreneurship? So this time we'll shift to Apostle Bianca first, and then go to Ralia after.
Challenges. So I think you just spoke about one of the challenges of entrepreneurship. And that is, the funds rolling in like clockwork. Like that whole, okay, this is my pay date, this is my pay date, this is my pay date type of thing. It's more spontaneous. And I think the beauty of it all, really, in the challenge, is that you never know when somebody's going to click on your website and purchase a program, or you never know when somebody's going to click on your website and purchase a bulk order of your stuff. So that's the beauty of it, right? But it's like, can that happen every day? Like, can somebody purchase a bulk order of my stuff every day, right? So I can make sure, I'm airtight on everything. And so that's definitely one of the challenges of it, especially when you're coming out of a corporate environment, or where you're coming out of an environment where you were paid well. You know what I mean? I had people prophesying to me about entrepreneurship and full-time this and full-time that. I'm like, I don't know what y'all talking about, because I would be right here working this job and doing, getting these checks. So that was definitely one of the challenges. Another one of the challenges that I think is not so talked about is, especially when you're a content creator and when you are somebody that has to show face. Like, people want to show up and see you. People want to talk to you, and people want to actually have conversations with you. So it's more of service-based entrepreneurship more than it is product-based. Now, I have some products, but initially, like, what I offer is service, right? Because I'm trained and I'm skilled, and I've gotten certified and all of those things. So I offer my services to people. And so when you do that, you don't always feel like doing it. And when you are somebody that is an intercessor, somebody that is compassionate, somebody that really loves people, somebody that is really looking to help, and you feel sometimes the things, and you take on some of the things that they tell you, and even with your own life, because there has to be a balance to this thing, because you have to run your own life, because you're responsible for your own life, right? And people just expect you to show up in the best shape possible, because you the coach, you the mentor, you the teacher, you the one that's supposed to be providing me with this information and helping me with my life, right? So your life need to be a certain way in order for you to show up and help somebody else's life out. And so the challenge and the struggle in that is saying, okay, even though I don't feel like going and showing up, right? Because I'm going through issues and challenges in my life, because why? I'm a human and I got flesh just like everybody else. And life don't care how anointed you are. It will slap you in the face at any given moment, and things can go left at any given moment with your kids, with your household, with your bills, child, turnpike tickets. I'm telling my business, child, all types of stuff can slap you upside your head and mood changes, family dynamics, like all types of things can change or, shift in the blink of an eye, and it can alter your mood and alter your headspace, right? And so, and you don't always feel like showing up. You don't always feel like, being present. But then you have a session with somebody, right, that's going through turmoil, or then you have, you got to create some content that's going to uplift and inspire and encourage and help, and, help transition people to a better, form of life. And so that's definitely one of the challenges that I find myself facing even more often nowadays, because I'm going through several transitions myself. And so going through those transitions and now having to show up for other people, sometimes it's challenging. Do I do it? Yeah, because I press past my stuff and I know I'm anointed for this. And I know that, when I show up, God is going to do what he want to do, because he already equipped me with everything that I need to accomplish the purpose that he put upon my life. So I show up in confidence, knowing that God is going to take care of these human beings that I'm called to serve, but also that he's going to take care of Bianca, because Bianca belongs to him too, as well. So that's definitely a challenge that I have to overcome a whole lot. But so those are my challenges.
So good. All right, Ralia, I'm turning over to you. I'm trying to hold my comments back till both of y'all share. So Ralia, it's on you now.
Okay, so I've been taking down some notes. As she speaks, I just take down notes at all. And the first thing I had said was the challenge when you asked the question is uncertainty. One of the challenges, yes, is the uncertainty of things. So you really can't say what will happen when you step into the day, but when you work in a 9 to 5, you can say, oh, maybe tomorrow is commission day, bonus day, I will get this. But entrepreneurship is really, like you said, still linking it to what you said, is really a deep work with God. In entrepreneurship, you need to have faith to be an entrepreneur. It's connected to faith. You can have all your strategies in place and all your plans in place, but God gives the increase. So how does that work? And sometimes you have no strategy, you have no plan in place, and God gives the increase. So that's one of the things that I had to learn to be comfortable with. It's not going to come the way you expect it to come all the time, but just know that it's going to come. It's something that God has sent you to do, and he's going to bless the works of your hands. Yeah. One of the other challenges I experienced when I initially started, before I started the beauty brand, when I was doing the coaching and I was enjoying it, but it was a live coaching session. So we'd have live coaching sessions, we'll have topics and things that we're looking at. Then I started to experience burnouts. I wanted them to now be in systems, in processes that people could just go buy the product and just go through the class and all of that. I enjoyed my moments with the women. I always enjoyed every of those sessions we had, but I couldn't be there live all the time, like she said. So that now comes to the point where you need to build systems that are independent of you. So, but I still appreciate that process because it's a growth process in itself. When you start, you just start the way you know how to start. Then you now have to structure your business and put them in place, so that's it. But mainly is the uncertainty of your business. You look 10, sometimes I just try to look forward, then I hold back. Like 10 years from now, okay, what am I doing actively to bring about this business becoming this kind of business? And, so when I think of all of those things, I'm like, just leave this to God. Entrepreneurship is a faith journey. Also, another thing I experienced is the fact that because you're working this business with God, he surprises me with things every day. So you can have a conversation with me now, and I'm telling you, oh, this is what we're doing. And tomorrow I've added something else. And it looks like, oh, okay, is it like she wasn't being honest? She wasn't saying everything she wanted to do? What happened? no, something else happened, because you have an invisible partner that is working with you. And every other time he gives you ideas, he adds something to the business that is different from what you had yesterday. It's different from the experience you had shared with someone you met so passionately and said, there are some friends that meet me, they're like, oh, you didn't tell me this was happening. And I'm like, yes, I didn't even know that this will be happening. But you just have to learn to be obedient, So I started this beauty business, and the first thing I see is black and white as the brand color, to be honest. And I'm like, okay, I'm going for the logo, black and white. We're getting started. Then we start making products, and I start seeing products in colors. I'm like, okay, so what's God doing? And then I'm going, is it not going to be colorful? I don't get it. And it's like, yes, the product will be colorful. So the black and white you had taught, because when I got the first color, black and white, I'm like, okay, it's a bit boring. I'm a colorful person, but it's fine. But that's all he wanted to let me see at the time. And looking down the line, add something else. And you're looking at it, okay, you now want these colors. Oh, interesting. Then he adds something else. So God keeps building. You have to constantly be in that relationship space with him for your business to thrive. If you say that this business, God is your partner in the business. So those are some good challenges, but you know how we want to be independent of God. You just want to do your thing and feel like, I know what I'm doing, but God doesn't want us to actually know what we're doing. He wants us to be dependent on him every single way. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Wow. Ladies, this is so good. This is so good. So first, I'll start with Apostle Bianca. I really love that you brought out what happens when you are a service-based entrepreneur. I really love that. And it reminded me of a new term that I learned over time, which is compassion fatigue. That all the compassion that we constantly are giving out to people, that we can experience fatigue because, as you said, we're helping people go through their processes, and we're yet in the midst of a process ourselves. And so, and I remember one day on Clubhouse, we were all together, Apostle Bianca, and you took a moment to acknowledge the warfare that you understood that people were in. And literally, I'm on Clubhouse like crying with my mic muted because of the simple fact that it's like, thank you for acknowledging the fact that people are going through warfare. Sometimes as leader, the expectation is that you're always strong, you're always good, you're always great. But it's so important to understand that because we are Christian entrepreneurs, the enemy is really fighting against us, because if the warfare intensifies to a point that we won't move, he's done his job, right? Because what we're doing as service-based entrepreneurs, helping people shift from one level to the next, is we are literally changing the world. Every individual life that is changed, we are changing the world, because that life now will touch every other individual life that God has called them to. And then also the understanding that it doesn't mean quit when it's hard, when you're dealing with challenges, when you're dealing with obstacles. It never means quit. That was a lesson that God taught me early on, and I was so grateful for that, because it has given me a fight and a push like no other. And then Raleigh, I love what you talked about with the uncertainty, and having that invisible partner. And what I heard God say, even as you said invisible, he said you have to make sure, even just through you explaining it, what I heard God say was, you have to make sure that I'm invisible but present. Right? I'm invisible, but clearly I'm present in what you're doing and what you're building and what you're creating, because that makes all the difference in the world. So I'm going to stop, because I feel like maybe you all wanted to share something else, even based on the summary. I feel it stirring in me. So I'm going to mute for a second. Apostle Bianca or Ralia, if you wanted to chime in something else that maybe came in your spirit to share, you can do that now.
Okay, I was just gonna see if Raleigh, I wanted to go first. No, but I just like we have to make sure, not even just as like entrepreneurs, but really just as people, that we're keeping up with our lives, that we're keeping up with our lives. that we're not just work, like constant back to back work. All we're doing is in the hustle and bustle of things. But it's really, really important that we do things that, that bring us, like, that we're on the receiving end of, because so many times we're giving and giving and giving and giving. And givers, are most famous as the ones who are not able to receive, who have a hard time receiving from people. And so I think it's very, very important, that you as a person, and just as an entrepreneur, and specifically those that offer services to people and that are speaking to people and helping people get their lives together and all of these things, and therapists and coach and all of these things, that you also learn how to receive good things, and that you also open your spirit and your mind to receive good things, right? Some of us can't even receive compliments. Like, like it's real basic stuff. Like, we can't even receive a compliment. And so we have to really open up ourselves to receive, and make sure that we are in a place now where we understand, where we know ourselves. It's really a holistic thing that we have to be conscious of, and we have to know ourselves. And that's why people suffer from burnout, because they don't know themselves. They don't know their limits. They don't know their capacity. And so they're constantly doing this when they should be doing this, right? They're constantly giving in a time that they should be receiving, right? Because some of us don't know when our cup has run dry, when our cup has been empty. And so we're constantly at a place where we're giving, showing up, and we don't know how to back up. And I've been in that place before. And I was like, hold up. What I'm not going to do is burnout. What I'm not going to do is be in depression. What I'm not going to do is be so stressed out to the point where I can't, get myself back up, right? And so it's important for us to rest. It's important for us to rest and receive. So I just wanted to give that.
Thank you, Apostle. For me, just talking about rest. So I have a day that I take off to rest. So it's just one of those days that I can do that because I know that I have an invisible partner, in quotes. God is my source. I don't have to hustle and grind to make it in business. I just have to obey and go with instructions as God will want me to do it. Another thing I would like to leave with people is focus on what God has called you to do and get inspired by what other people are doing. Don't go around changing your lane. You change your lane, change this here. Oh, someone is doing this now. Oh, this was up. Forgetting that you are unique. You can be that entrepreneur that, maybe you work twice a week, and that's how God has blessed your business, and He causes the right people to meet you at that time, and you're able to thrive. What happened? Okay. So that's all I can leave. Just focus on what God has called you to do. Don't be quick to follow what every other person is doing. Thank you.
I love it. That was so good. And that's what I was like, it was like something else. They got some more. So I'm excited about that. And so my next question for you all is how important is a coach or a mentor? Because we get different messages from the world, right? Where some people are saying you don't need a coach and a mentor, all you need is God. What are your thoughts about being a Christian entrepreneur? And you all both are coaches and mentors. So I know that you all have a perspective because not only have you maybe benefited, but you've also seen the results or the fruit of it as well. So I would love for you all to share from the perspective of being an entrepreneur, that dynamic of being hearing from God, and then also consulting, let's say, coaches and mentors. What are your thoughts on that? So I'll start with Riley out this time and then shift to Bianca, Apostle Bianca.
Okay, so let me try and use a scenario. When you play football, you are in the pitch playing, and you don't see yourself well. So you just know your strengths, you know what you can do, but you don't see who is behind you. There are a lot of things around happening at the same time. Now, what a coach does for you is that a coach can see the picture holistically and be able, to tell you, oh, this is what you need to do. You need to move to the left, move to the right, and all of that. You can't do that for yourself, unfortunately. Even if you hear from God, you can't do that for yourself. And coaches or mentors, they make it easier for you to get to your destination faster. Why should you go experience all the mistakes that they have already, they have walked past? And now you go through it. I want to figure it all out and all of that. Why? They say experience is the best teacher, but it's not really the best teacher. Someone else's experience is your best teacher. So it makes it easier for you to get forward. It makes it easier for you to get there. You would still have to learn some unique things that are unique to your own business or to your own person. But I think that having a coach and a mentor, or both of them or either of them, helps you get faster in life. And God is a God of order. Everyone had to come to a family. Every pastor had to have a spiritual father, all of those things. You can't just say, I hear from God and I'm a pastor on my own. Nobody ordained me. You didn't, you were not ordained. You were not baptized by anyone, and you're just preaching the word. That's not how God does his things. So God is a God of order and process. So that's what I think in regards to this question.
Amen. All right, Apostle Bianca.
So, like with coaches and with mentors, I think they're definitely powerful resources. But I think what has lacked with us specifically is the power of self-governance. Um, governing yourself accordingly. And this is not absent from God or away from God. Even when God gives you instruction, it's your responsibility to adhere to those instructions. So I think sometimes we see coaches and mentors in this light where, okay, they're going to do it for me. We can't do anything for you but give you what we've been trained to give you, what we've been certified to give you, some of the things that we've walked through ourselves, the wisdom, the knowledge, the revelation that God has given us, all of these things, these tools, we can equip you further. And just like Riley, I said, we can help take some of the years sometimes off of your journey, take some of the stress and strain off your journey. But at the end of the day, you have to be the one to say, I'm going to implement what Bianca gave me. I'm going to implement what Riley gave me. I'm going to implement what Prophetess Chavon gave me. I'm going to implement what God gave me, right? And so you have to be the one for the implementation, because at the end of the day, it is about your implementation. I can't come inside of your life and do these things for you. And so until we've mastered self-governance, you don't need a coach and you don't need a mentor, because you don't want to waste that person's time, nor do you want to waste your own time or your money. And so I tell people, even people that train with me and that I mentor, if you ain't gonna listen to nothing I'm saying, you might as well keep your money. If you ain't ready to be shifted, or if you're not ready to take this and implement it into your life, then I don't want you here. I want you to keep your money, and I also want you to keep your time. And I want you to spend that time in a place of reflection, getting to know yourself better, getting to know God better, getting to know what he's called you to do better, getting to know all of those things better, because all of those things are important. And so that principle, and I've been talking a lot about this, especially on Clubhouse, of self-governance is really, really important. Learning how to govern ourselves accordingly, and learning how to be not only hearers, right, but also doers. Knowing to, when to implement and when to, really apply the information that you've learned, and really, really just be in a place where you receive what it is that you paid for. And so, because I don't want anybody signing up with me and they're not able to get results because they haven't mastered self-governance and because they don't really know themselves. And they don't really know the power of God. And so I try to do foundational teachings and foundational principles before we get started in my programs, just to, kind of make sure the ground is fertile in people's minds. So people don't be at a place where they like, oh, well, I did this, like, because I've heard the complaints, not from my program personally, right? Maybe somebody else heard her complain about my program, but they ain't gonna say it to my face. So, the thing about it is, I don't want anybody walking away from any of my programs without results. And so I try to make sure people are prepared. I've even sent people away because I'm like, I don't think I'm the best fit for your life. You explain to me what it is that you want. Explain to me where it is that you are, right? And let's see if if I'm the right fit for your life. Because if I'm not the right coach for you, I know plenty other coaches that I can connect you with that could be a better fit for you. So what is it that you're trying to train? Because in Exodus, and I tell the women that have signed up for my mentorship program, yes, I am prophetic, but this is not I'm not here to teach you how to prophesy. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to make you so solid in transitions that sometimes the transitions that you in don't affect you mentally. That's what I'm here to do, to really help you with mental stability, to help you to understand what's going on in your brain while you're experiencing transition, and to educate you and to help you through some things, right? So that you can be a better human being, so that you can show up in the spaces that God has called you to as well. And so I'm not here to, that's not what Exodus is based on. So that's something that we really have to learn. Self-governance is very, very important, because again, we can't switch lives. As much as I would like to, jump over some of the hurdles that you may be going through that maybe I've mastered or overcome. I would love to switch shoes with you for about 40 minutes and just tackle some stuff and then hop back into my own life and do it. But it doesn't work that way. You have to apply the information. You have to, take it and apply it to your own life. And unfortunately, coaches, mentors, pastors, leaders, people that have any type of level of power or authority in anybody's life, they cannot live their life for them. And so I think it's really important to understand your own responsibility in your own life.
I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. See, sometimes the truth hurts, but the truth is necessary. And so I love that so much. I love what Raliat said about that a coach and a mentor is able to help you get to where you need to be faster. And that is from what I would say a coach and a mentor often does too, is help give you wisdom. Wisdom for strategy, wisdom for your next season, and especially from the mentorship aspect. As that coach, it's all about, okay, what is it that you're looking for? What is it that you need? And what are you willing to commit to? And that's where that self-governance is all about. If you are not willing to commit to the process for you to reach the goal that you desire to reach, although you're going through things, although you're fighting things, I'm telling you, you still have to push. The reason why all of us are up here right now is not because, and I always reiterate this fact, like my life is not a bed of roses, okay? I fight, I war, I go through things, but I refuse to quit because I understand the call of God on my life. And so as you get a coach and a mentor who supports you and helps you to build and create and develop, you have to develop that fight. You have to develop that stamina, that endurance, that perseverance, that relentlessness to push despite all odds that are stacked against you, so that you can do what God has called and created you to do. Because we understand as Christian entrepreneurs that we have a whole force that is against us, okay? Wanting us to quit and throw in the towel. And that happens to everyone, not just some of us, but all of us. And I've learned the greater the call, the weightier the pressure. And so, but the key is that you have to understand, regardless of all pressure, regardless of everything that is stacked against you, you serve the God who is all powerful, right? And so when you step in with him, then everything else becomes powerless to stop you, to derail you, to deter you. It's powerless because God is with me and because God is for me. And so, ladies, this has been absolutely amazing. I thank you all so much. So much wisdom was poured out. One of the ladies came up and she said, I literally just started my business. And so she is able to tune in and hear all of this. And Antoinette said, thank you, Apostle. She said, thank you, Miss Raleigh. You ladies are mighty in God. And I absolutely agree. I love you all so much. So I'll give you all a moment to share with everyone how they can connect with you on today, and even any upcoming things that they can even sign up for that are happening right now. So I'll start with Apostle Bianca, and then we'll let Raleigh conclude.
I just wanted to first just say thank you, Prophetess, for hosting this, and for having me here. This has been a really, really great conversation. And so how you can get in touch with me, I'm on, of course, here, Facebook. I'm on Instagram. My Instagram is official Bianca Lowry. So you can find me there. Also, my website is www.biancalowryinternational.com. So you can find me there. What I have coming up is basically Exodus Mentoring and Training. My 5th group of women that I'll be mentoring, they are about to start in January. And so if you are a woman and you know you need a mentor, you are ready to implement some stuff, and you're ready to really learn more about transition, and implement some tools and get equipped to really handle the transitions that will come to your life. Because one thing that's promised to us in life is change, and it is transition. And we need people that can be equipped to handle change and transition, from a biblical perspective, but also from a perspective of knowing what happens to you psychologically when you're going through changes and when you're going through transitions. And so if that's something that you feel like you could benefit from, you definitely want to sign up for Exodus Mentoring and Training. And so we're starting January 20th. That is our start date. We have a bunch of women signed up already. The program has shifted from a 6-week program to now a 6-month program. So I'm going to be walking with these ladies for 6 months. And so it's going to be very, very intense. It's going to be a great journey. And I'm very, very excited about that. And so if you want to reach out to me, you can actually reach out to me on my website, biancalowryinternational.com. There's a place where it says you can send a message to me. You just type out, I want to be mentored, or I want to know more about the program. We're actually having some interest meetings coming up. So you can be a part of those where you can hear firsthand some of the women that have went through the program. And that'll be kind of helping out, this next group of women go through the program. And so, so again, that starts January 20th. It is an investment, of course. I'm going to be walking with you throughout your life for 6 months. So it's definitely an investment, a very small one, though. If I could be honest, for a 6-month program, very small. And so please just reach out. We do have payment plans available as well. But essentially what we build with Exodus is definitely a community of women that have, done some amazing things, but that have also become better human beings. And that have learned how to transition, and that have access to the information that I've provided for them forever. Like the information doesn't go anywhere. And so if they find themselves in the trial or in the tribulation, and they're like, you know what, I need to watch the 5th episode of, of this group that I was in, they can always go back and watch those episodes and keep those episodes with them. And so they always have, the access to that empowerment, even if they don't have access to me for whatever reason. And so it's a powerful program. And I'm not just saying that because it's my program, but it is a very powerful program. So you can sign up on my website, or you can contact me about payment plans on my website as well. And I just wanted to put this tidbit in real quick as well. We were talking about coaching and all of those things. So please understand that proximity is important. Proximity is important. And I'm saying that to say there are women that I've mentored that have never been a part of my mentorship programs. But because they come to stuff that I do, and because they come to spaces that I host, the anointing that's on my life shifts them, right? And so I want you to stay connected, right? Go to my Instagram, follow me on Clubhouse if you haven't already, and just be a part of the spaces that I host that are geared toward what you need to be a part of. And so, because I host spaces about different things, I'm very multifaceted. You're not going to always hear me on Clubhouse praying. Sometimes I'm addressing things that are going on in the African American community, so I do like activism and stuff. And so sometimes you'll hear me in that vein. And so, but yeah, definitely understand that proximity is definitely important. And you can be in an atmosphere with a person and be charged just because of who they are. and really gain wisdom just from who they are. You know, and you don't always have to sign up for a mentorship and training program. So if you feel like, you know, Exodus is not for you, still stay connected. So I just wanted to say that too.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. I'm one of those ones that the proximity shifted my life completely and wrecked me completely. And so I am forever thankful and grateful for Apostle Bianca. So I love you so much. Definitely stay connected. All right, Miss Riley.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Chavon, for this platform. Thank you. I'm so happy and privileged to have met Apostle Bianca and all the lovely women that have connected with us today, you know, to just talk about our experiences. Yeah, to connect with me, you can follow me on Instagram as my name appears, Raliat Abe, or you can check out my website, www.raliatabe.com. On Instagram, you can check my link tree. You would see I have a free affirmation, so every woman here should, you know, should get it today. It's free, so you see, you know, it's just the word of God being spoken out that you speak out. It will remind you for like 5 days to speak these words into your spirit to know that truly you are the head and not the tail. There are lots of spiritual words there, so you can connect. You can download it and have it for yourself. Also, I have a book on Amazon, Work Smart and Stand Out. The link is also on my link tree. You could just go in there, get the book. It's a wonderful resource. And stay connected.
Amen. Amen. I love it. Ladies, thank you all so much for being a part of this move of God. And I believe that these ladies, and all who watch the replay, male or female, are going to be blessed by the insight that you all shared, the wisdom that you all gave, and even the transparency for sharing your journey as a Christian entrepreneur. And like I said at the beginning, that God is calling us to help take territory for his glory and for his honor. And so we have to be positioned accordingly. And so I pray that things that have been shared has fallen on good ground on today, so that you're not afraid to even begin this journey, because you know that you have that invisible but present partner, because you know that literally you are going to overcome anything that is stacked up against you, because God will give you the grace to do it well. And you'll have that necessary balance where you can still take care of yourself as well as serving other people. So I love you all so much, Apostle Bianca and Riley. I thank you all so much for lending me your time today and sharing all of everything you shared with us today. It was so good. So good. So everyone, make sure that you are with us, because we're shifting. Get ready for the next live to pop up and appear, and make sure you share, because we are about to hear from the amazing Coach Caitlin. She is absolutely a phenomenal woman, and she is our first keynote speaker. So I will see you all in a few moments. God bless. Bye.